Hello class, so I wanted to talk with you about the middle stage of the photorealistic painting project. And before you get to that, you're going to want to make sure that the first stage is done, which is basically covering the entire canvas with this transparent paint application. And just to give you a better idea of what it looks like to have the first stage complete, here's two examples of student artwork. One's by Ivy, that's the one on the left, and one's by Tony, that's the one on the right. And you're going to want to have your painting at this stage before you begin doing what I described in this video. So you're going to have your whole painting covered in this transparent paint application. So when your underpainting's complete, that's the underpainting, then you're going to go to the middle stage. And in the middle stage, you're still going to be keeping things simple. You're going to be simplifying forms into 2 to 3 colors, and you're going to block them in, but this time you're going to use opaque paint and you're going to use color matching. And I'm going to show you how you could do that. So let's first pick a form. I'm going to paint this fry. And before you put the paint to the canvas, you're going to want to mix your colors. And this is where color matching comes in. And when you pick a color to match, you're going to be choosing the color that's most common within that area. So if you're looking at the fry, I'm trying to find a color that's most common in the shadow area, and I'm going to match that color. And the same thing with the lights. I'm going to look for the color that's most common within the lights, I'm going to match that color. Okay? You want to apply your paint opaquely. So you want to use less water. Okay, now once you apply your paint, then you're going to want to tint to any edges. So if there's a sharp edge, you're going to make the edge sharp. And if there's the edge that you need to blend, you're going to blend that edge. Now it's just blending first. So I'm going to get a damp and clean brush. And I'm just going to lightly blend this edge since it's a little softer in the photo. And actually you want to do long passes. Be better. Okay, and that's fine for now. Be a little softer. Okay, and that's okay for the second layer. Then you're going to want to tint to any edges. And be sure when you're matching the colors that you're picking a specific place to match. And still have respect for your edges. You don't want to lose, or still have respect for your lines. You don't want to lose your lines, because it may create a problem later. And at this point, you're not worrying too much about texture yet. If there's a rough texture, don't worry about it. Now, if a texture is really intense, you may start to develop it, but nonetheless, you're keeping things pretty simple still. lot of times you don't even need to break out the other brush. You could just push the paint into the other section. And I'll give you a softer line. Okay, so I'm gonna take a break from the fries and I'll move over to the hot dog one. And when you paint, do so in a well-lit area. It's gonna make it a lot easier for you. Okay, I know there's a lot of texture on this hot dog bun, but I'm keeping it simple. And sometimes you might have to get a blend perfect. You might have to do two layers, 2 coats. This is a gradual process. Okay, I'm gonna try to capture a little bit of the shadow on the bottom before it dries. And realize once it dries, you're not gonna wanna mess with it, okay? Okay, but you don't want to keep messing with it too much, because what will happen once it starts to dry, you either pull up the paint, or it'll begin to gum up and it'll start to look funny if you keep blending it. So at a certain point, you gotta stop. Like I'm gonna stop right now, just because I know already from experience if you keep messing with it, it'll start to go bad. So just leave it. At a certain point, just leave it. Always come back to it and fine tune it. So what you're going to do is you're going to apply the second layer to the whole canvas, just as you did with the first layer.